Good evening, I am VoiceOver AU, the guy who just bumped the mic and made a horrible noise on your end of the line, but we are rolling. I am also known as Kevin Powell, and the reason that I am here, despite being 10 minutes late, Gremlins, I'll tell you more about that later, but the reason that I'm here is I love playing games, and I love talking about the world around games as well, and in the case of Fallout, it's this amazing melange of just wacky characters, just completely gonzo off the wall personalities. It's people reclaiming society and trying to build their stake. It's kind of reminiscent of, you probably can't see it behind me, but an amazing like 5-part Batman story called No Man's Land. Gotham becomes this literal no man's land after a natural catastrophe, and all of these little camps start building up to try and stake a claim on their own territory. It evokes those kind of feelings. It also has this amazing intersection with this really halcyon period of American history. I mean, you've got the amazing 1950s, like industrial and just general approach to designing objects like cars, toasters, that wonderful sort of like chromy gloss. You've got incredible visionaries like Buckminster Fuller and all of his ideas about not only creating architecture, but also just how the world should work. It's all of that stuff. And it's also just a hell of a lot of fun to fill folks full of holes. And it's all of that stuff. That's why we're here. So, just a bit of a recap. Where were we? Where are we? We're in Vault City, and we are tearing the place to the ground because Erika came to Vault City. The chosen one, Erika, came to Vault City a little while back and was rebuked, told she couldn't be a citizen. We went down to Vault 15 after tooling around a little bit in NCR, picked up some incredible weaponry, picked up also some really neat armor after meeting the guy, the bridge keeper. That was so much fun last episode. And so now we're just torching the place. Like, it's got to go. Fire sale. Everything in this place must go. We're at the hairy end of the fight. We're really down on heels, so it's tough. It's tough, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. Now, as per our last horror show, we're going to do housekeeping on all of this a little bit later on tonight, once we've got a chance to get rolling. So in the meantime, let's get started. So we're out of combat at the moment. You have nothing for me. Now, one of the reasons that I was a little bit late was that I finally realized why Codsworth wasn't with us. It's because, folks, there are a couple of tokens that expire every 30 days, and I occasionally forget to renew them. Well, in fact, most of the time I forget to renew them. Alright, we've got two plasma grenades. I reckon we stick with those as openers. Now, the single shots were doing about as much damage for the really resilient guards as the bursts were, so we might stick with that. Unfortunately, we're pretty much out of ammo for our P90 now. I don't think we've got any 10mm left. Oh, I'm not out of heals. I thought I was. There we go. That's good. That's good. It has been a tough fight. See, now I'm wishing I still had that shotgun that I picked up. What else do we pick up? The Desert Eagle. Yeah, no 10mm at the moment. We'll fix that later. Still got a chunk of money. Bought really good armor. Bought really good armor while we were in... Where did we get that from? I think it was from NCR. Yeah, it was. And then just straight away, just ran into the bridge keeper. But I'm not complaining. Oh, that is my shotgun, isn't it? Yeah, the Pancor is a shotgun. See, I did keep a shotgun. Alright, let's heal. Now, as a brief reminder, it is a Friday night, so... Friday streams are always positive streams. I'd love to hear I mean, I'm here to listen if you've had a bit of a rough week, but also, I'd love to know, what is the best thing that's happened to you this week? Alright, we're going to play Doors and Corners again. I'm going to break line of sight with these folks. I'm going to see if I can get someone to come back here. Doesn't look like it. Alright. I'm going to have to initiate. Alright. Because this looks like... This is mostly civilians here, but I know that there are other guards around. How you doing, buddy? Lydia, oh Lydia, say have... That's what I should probably put points on. I should probably put some points in throw. Because throwing grenades is just... It's a super useful skill. You're just gonna stand there, Lydia. See, those single shots. Doing good. Alright. There's one of our remaining guards. I think we're actually on the... I think we're on the finish line for this. And I've got enough that I can... shoot once and pop back in. Goodbye, Lydia. I know there's a whole thing about white people not shutting up ever about Breaking Bad, but I can't think of the name Lydia now without getting Todd's ringtone stuck in my head. Lydia, oh Lydia, say have you met Lydia? Lydia the tattooed lady. I'm just gonna let that person steal, not steal, use all of their APs. It's been a pretty woolly-headed day, so that's kind of part of why I was late today. It's not the whole story, but it's part of it. It's been a full week. It's been a full week, but it's been a good week, in the sense that I've been tied up a lot on VR gigs. Not VR, VO gigs. See? Words! What are words? What even are words? What are words? Yeah, it's been a very full week, VO-wise, which is awesome. I mean, that's always what I want. But it's meant a few late nights juggling things. Hostile creatures nearby. I don't see any hostile creatures nearby. Huh, don't have enough action points. Someone wants to make something of this. Someone is nearby. I've checked that corpse before. Oh, hang on. There we go. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, let's cross over here to the tap house. I will take those caps. Thank you for that. Oh, interesting. Non-combatant. Alright, well I won't kill someone if they're not going to kill me. No word of a lie. Do I need the coffee that I'm having right now? I spent half an hour today. Do I need to go in there to find you? I spent half an hour today trying to remember where I put my water bottle, and it turns out I just put it on my bed and put like a blanket over it. There you are. Here you are, Chief. How can I get to you without giving you sightlines on me before I want you to? See, every time we have these conversations about tactics... Hey, Nubla, how you doing? How has your week been? Hey, Zevensoft! Coffee is the best, isn't it? Oh, by the way, Zevensoft, I wanted to say, thank you very much for the recommendation for watching The Great Gatsby. I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. I wish that I had seen it sooner. I've got to say, I didn't find it emotionally destroying, so I was having a night of it. It's a long story, but I really wanted to just do basically the emotional equivalent of turning it off and on again. And so I watched The Crow afterwards, but it was a great film. Like, it was gorgeous. You're absolutely right. And I think there's something so sobering about that nouveau riche versus the old guard that it sets up in the film. Beers and chill. That sounds like a fantastic Friday, Nubla. So, at a guess, would you say that you relate to Gatsby in that sense? In that he is sort of at the center of things, but at the outside of things at the same time? Tell me more. Like, if it's not a too personal a question. Okay. I was looking for you folks before. There we go. See, that's the interesting thing about the film, though, Zevensoft. Was Gatsby a total fake, or was Gatsby someone who had pulled himself up by his bootstraps? Because you could argue that, and I apologize, but it's been about a week since I've seen it, so I'm going to blank on some characters' names. But his sweetheart's husband, you could argue that he had more integrity than that character. Like, above and beyond, because he lied to save his love. Okay, all narcissists. I guess, yeah, that's interesting. That's a really interesting take on the story. You're absolutely right too, Nubla. Like, DiCaprio is an amazing actor. Putting on a fake persona to hide my vulnerabilities. Okay, I hear you. And I think that's definitely one of the most interesting parts of Gatsby as a character, that he does have this incredible calculated persona, and he is at the same time so heartbreakingly vulnerable. Like, oh man, there's that moment where he reaches out and he's like, do you want to take a swim? We haven't used the pool all year. And Tobey Maguire's character's like, I have to work. Sorry. Laters. Vault City Guard was hit in the head for 9 points of damage. Oh, you're not impressed, are you? Tail end of Vault City, Nubla. Tail end of Vault City. So, Zevensoft, do you feel an obligation a lot of the time then to forefront your intelligence, to sort of make that the focus of things? You know what? I reckon these folks are they're gonna get a goddamn plasma grenade or two. I'm gonna walk over here. Hey everyone! Because this will do enough damage to actually make throwing it worthwhile. Oh. That did not... I just missed. That was not very exciting though. Yeah, feel free, Zevin Soft, to tell me to fuck off. Like if that is, oh, there we go. This is what I was trying to avoid. Nice, Nubla. Yeah, Zevin Soft, feel free to tell me to fuck off if it's too personal a question too. Because I think in some ways, maybe to a greater or lesser degree, like we all feel that there are parts of our personality that we have to highlight. Maybe if it's around certain groups, or maybe in general we feel like this is the part of me that people value. Okay. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not using that language. I'm not using that language because I'd feel insulted. That's just me throwing some emphasis on the fire. Oh. 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 Those citizens are taking a shot at me too. Yeah, this is the crowd of guys I was trying to flush out. What? There's our first death for the night.
The land has claimed your life. Arroyo attempts to send out others to search for the Gek, but they die quickly, and the village soon follows.
Just bear with me for a quick sec, people. I'll just get this. For some reason, it likes to have the first one like that. There we go. Now we got our death counter back. That would be really up there if we had all of them from last week. All right, so that's the group of people I was trying to flush out. So I reckon if I come back around the buildings this way a few times. Oh man, Alien Isolation. I wish I had the streaming it during the week. I wish I had my counters for that because, oh boy, did I die a lot of times. But yeah, this is going to take a bit to get through because we got a cluster of about, what have we got, like five guards there. I just need to find a way to approach them where I'm not giving them all a solid line of sight. Let's get rid of you. We were talking about this last week. I really like the design of this game because I always feel like there's a smarter way to approach these fights, even though they are tough as nails. At least tough for me. Yeah, so when you say, Zevensoft, when you say borderline personality traits, I apologize, but I don't quite understand what that term means. You might need to unpack that for me a little bit. Little Big Adventure, what is that? No, I haven't played it. I've played Little Big Planet. I'm imagining that it's not the same thing. Ollie, Ollie. Nope, no one there. Oh, yay! I reached Sentinel. I'm the best. Little Big Adventure is like Fallout for kids. That sounds amazing. I'm trying to find games for my daughter that are a little bit more complex that she might like watching. Similar perspective, but bigger focus on puzzles. That sounds cool. Like, what's the rough age range for the game? I'm gonna blow everyone's mind by reloading too before I actually get into combat. What? Do. Oh, sweet. You for everyone. Okay. Hang on, I'm going to make a note about that. If I can find my notes. Check out Little Big Adventure. Yeah, it's funny. I wonder if it's going to be one of those things with my daughter where it's like, you know, your parents have a thing they love doing and so they try and get your kids involved. Trying to sort of get her involved in video games at the moment, but she's 4, so it's probably just a matter of finding the right stuff. Reminds me a little bit of Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. I don't know if that's relevant at all. Alright, how can we flush these SOBs out? I reckon if I head down here, if I head to the Servant Allocation Center, and just make a bit of a ruckus here. And that is the price of slavery. Just for those of you who are curious. There we go. Now folks come a-calling. The other thing I'm going to be really interested in seeing tonight too is what Fallout 76 does to our numbers. Like, it's neither here nor there. I love just having... I love whoever turns up, being able to chat with them, and you are both wonderful people, but I am kind of curious about whether that is going to mean bigger or smaller numbers, like whether it sparked a renaissance of interest in Fallout, or whether most people, if they're Fallout oriented, are just interested in watching Fallout 76. Let's check outside. There we are. There you are. Let's get rid of you. You can probably only just see it, but my power armor is over in the corner, Nublar. I'm actually pretty... It's been basically a pretty hectic week, so apart from streaming, I haven't had a chance to play much in the way of games. I have my copy of Fallout 76, but I haven't sat down to play it yet. Oh, hey everyone! So glad you could join. I critically missed and dropped my grenade. That is tragic. That is the worst. Still, this is half the crowd that I wanted to draw. Oh, I didn't just drop some of my grenades, I dropped all of the plasmas. Oh no, they went back to my inventory. What have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gotcha. I've played Fallout 4, Nublar, and the idea of playing Fallout 76 with friends, like, I like the idea of that. But it's going to be interesting to see, like, how it goes. Like, I love the feeling of just wandering the landscape or building up a facility with friends, and I'm actually looking forward to doing probably something along the lines of, like, a role-playing stream with Fallout 76. That seems the most fun, but, I mean, I don't know if that's going to work with the folks I'm looking at streaming with. A wild Capdaff appears. It is super effective. That makes no sense. That's a terrible Pokemon reference. Capdaff uses chat. It is super effective. There we go. That was the missing link. I got there in the end. How has your week been, Capdaff? Oh, you son of a... Stun rods. Notice 32 and 37 and 52 damage on the plasma grenades. That is why we use plasma grenades. Alright. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad that yesterday was better for you. Did you hear that noise? That was grotesque. I don't think I've disintegrated a body yet. That was, I guess it's a plasma weapon thing? Yeah, how's the... Playing some Fallout 4. Ah, Stranger Things Season 2 then? What did you think of it? And if I can ask, if it's not a sore question, how goes the job hunting? Alright, we're down to one of these guards. See, like that's actually, we've got a better approach now. 2 plasma grenades. I've got one of them here. This feels like it's a little, it's doing better. Although, we're gonna see what kind of damage this does. 65 with a critical hit. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I continue to cross fingers for you. And thank you again for sending on the resume as well. So what do you think about the difference between Season 1 and Season 2 of Stranger Things? Also, actually, let's give that a 1 minute. Let's give that a 1 minute countdown. If there's anyone here who doesn't want to be spoiled on Stranger Things, please let us know in chat, and so that way we won't talk about any particulars, in case anyone hasn't seen it and wants to. That's the usual courtesy. I probably should have just banked those AP. There it is, folks. There it is. Alright, that's our minute. Yeah, what'd you think about the difference between Season 1 and Season 2? What'd you think about it overall? Ah, interesting. Really? Look, I'll go into combat if you want me to, but I don't know who... I guess it's just the civilians that are triggering combat mode for me. Are you excited for Dave Harbour as Hellboy after seeing that as well? Plasma grenade, I'll take that, thank you. It's interesting that I'm really glad that you found it consistent, like you found it sort of stitched together. I wonder if in some ways, I wonder if that might be because, unlike a lot of people, you watched them back to back. Because I guess one of the things that can happen with a series between seasons is it shifts from what it actually was. We remember it differently. So I wonder if maybe that's part of it as well. Yeah. Nubla, they are remaking Hellboy with Dave Harbour from, if I'm remembering his name correctly, the guy who plays the cop, the sheriff in Stranger Things, and he looks fucking amazing. So they're doing a new Hellboy film, which I think is going to be tonally a little different. Alright, Ollie Oxenfree. Here's the last of the... I'm glad I saved, because this is the batch of guards that... Beautiful. Broke line of sight with them. Dave Harbour, thank you. I'm obviously mangling his name then. Ron did an amazing job of it, especially given, like, Hellboy 2 was not a great film, but he did an amazing job. He did an amazing job with the role. When you see David in it, though, he looks amazing. It's funny. Speaking of his dad bod, he got seriously ripped in preparing for the role, and so they actually, excuse me, they actually turned around and said to him, they're like, David, what are you doing? Like, we need some padding on you. We need some, we need basically a little bit more bulky. You've got way too much muscle mass. You need to go away and fuck, just eat some ice cream, dude. Because we're gonna get like a lot of what we need from appliances that are gonna be on you. Apparently a similar thing happened with Christian Bale for Batman. Like, he turned up first day on set and he was just jacked. He had like far more bulk than they wanted for the role, and so he had to sort of tone down a little bit. Oh, hey folks! So these are the ones I really wanted to use the plasma grenades on. That was not great. Yeah, it's still in early stages at the moment, but it looks amazing from in as much as you can judge from a promo shot, I guess. Because that's about what we've got. Alright, if I can have her blocking the doorway, that actually works really well for me at the moment. But yeah, Ron Perlman, like, absolutely no aspersions cast on Ron Perlman. He was amazing in the role, and Ron Perlman's one of those actors who elevates. I think they just wanted a new... I think it's probably in part A, Ron Perlman's getting on in years, and B, it is a reboot, so they wanted a different approach to the character. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's got. Like, you're absolutely right, Zevensoft. Like, that is a good dad bod. Just a little bit of soft, but you got that muscle mass like underneath it. That's the good stuff. But yeah, Nublar, in terms of Ron not being cast, just the best answer I'd have there is literally just that it was a reboot, and so they want to take a new stab at it. I don't know who the director is. I have to be honest. Like, in part, I haven't looked. I'd be super curious to find out who it is. Because they got very distinctive approaches to it across the two directors they had. Yeah, a Hellboy 3 would have been amazing, but I think it might be the box office. There you go, you lie down for a sec. 35 points, nice. And while you're there, let's just see what you got. Shotgun shells? I'll always have those. Alright, let's keep her down. There we go. Yeah, I think I would imagine the window of time when they could attach Ron Perlman, to that role, probably passed while they were still sort of reeling from the box office from Hellboy 2. Not really, Zevensoft. I wouldn't say Pan's Labyrinth is a spiritual successor to Hellboy. I would frame it as Guillermo del Toro put his distinctive style into Hellboy 2, and you can see his thumbprint in there, which is what any good director does. Like, you get him because you get his style. But Pan's Labyrinth is a very different feeling in terms of the story it's telling. If you haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth, Nublar, I'd recommend it. It's not it's a heartbreaking film, but it's really good. The lead actor, she's like 12, 13. She's amazing in the role that she plays. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, like he has a very distinctive style sort of across everything that he does, which is why I was so bummed to hear that he was planning on doing a, not a remake of The Thing, but an actual adaptation of the Lovecraft story Mountains of Madness, which is all about basically being trapped in the Antarctic. Half of basically the station goes missing, and then going and investigating these ancient ruins. Inspired a story in the 60s, which I'm blanking on the name of, which is what inspired The Thing. But yeah, he was going to be doing an adaptation of. Oh, nice. Yeah, you fall down too. He was going to be doing an adaptation of Mountains of Madness, which would have been amazing, because we don't get many Lovecraft films. It's not very common. Why can't I shoot you? Sir? Sir, I wish to shoot you. Sir, please stand still. Alright, let's move like one and then see if I can shoot him. I think it's targeting the corpse underneath. No, not in the Mouth of Madness. Mountains of Madness, which is an old Lovecraft story. In the Mouth of Madness is an amazing film, and if you're a fan of that, you have excellent taste, which is inspired by. To me, it always feels like it's an intersection of Lovecraft and Stephen King, because that's the whole idea of like horror author uncovers like truth of the universe. And, oh man, that film is so good. Sam Neill has got a good track record for horror films. Like I know a lot of people like to give it stick, but I love Event Horizon. Oh, there you go. It shows. You have excellent taste. I'm just going to say that because you like the thing that I like. I've got no idea whether it's redeeming at all, but you like the thing I like, so I'm just going to say you've got excellent taste. That guy's going to get back up. Hang on. I think he's actually stopping me from getting through here too. Ah, son of a... That's rude. Well, I'm going to take your shotgun, because you're going to get back up. John Carpenter is amazing. Prince of Darkness. This is a film I have not seen, Capdaf. Tell me more. Tell me about Prince of Darkness. I'm going to see if I can get out of combat. No, it's not going to let me get out of combat. Oh, in the sense that it's not an immediate death. Yeah, that sequence is so good. Oh man, I'm tearing up. See, that's the thing I love about that film is it does. It's part of what made for me Haunting of Hill House so good as well. It's about it creates the feeling of a family. Like I can just hear Lawrence Fishburne's voice over the line, and God, I'm gonna blank on the name of the character, but essentially, their safety officer going, "Baby bear, baby bear." Just Prince of Darkness is John Carpenter's part 2 of The Thing. Thank you so much for letting me know about that, Capdaf. I've never heard of that film. I had no idea it didn't exist. Sorry, I had no idea it existed. Yeah, absolutely right, Zevensoft. Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember back to the film, but the way it frames it is the major issue is the air pressure of air trying to escape the body. Like that's what causes the majority of like immediate damage. Good news is too that if you're a fan of The Expanse has some realistic sequences around that too. Hey, where'd you get that stim pack from? I searched you. Unless I just searched your friend. Son of a... Get out of it, you mongrel. Yeah, The Thing's an amazing film. I was talking about that during the during horror show on Wednesday night, because we're playing through Alien Isolation at the moment. And thank you very much for that, Codsworth. But yeah, I was talking about that on Wednesday night, and the amazing thing about that film is that the Mac as a character and their team as a whole, their biocontainment procedures, as a bunch of, they are scientists, but they're mostly, you get the sense that they're working Joes who are keeping the station running. But their biocontainment procedures for dealing with the thing that they run into, completely unexpected, are so much more sensible than the ones that you see a crew who have trained for the mission the whole of their life. In Alien Covenant, they are just so stupid about what they do in comparison. But the thing is a great example of just basically working class common sense. You know, everything they do makes sense. They're trained professionals, and they don't do stupid things. Alien Covenant just frustrates me as a film. Makes me sad that it was not better. That's right, who goes there? The Thing from Another World? Oh, there you go. See, I know what I love, but there's a small fraction, basically, of the whole horror landscape that I've seen. And one of the things I love about talking to you folks is that you have excellent recommendations. Yeah, not a lot to like in Alien Covenant. Which is a shame, because the premise of it was really interesting. Like, the question was great. And Guy Pearce as Wayland was fantastic. I wanted more of him from... I know I'm repeating sort of old conversations, but he was amazing in the mock TED Talk that they did when he was sort of a young, vital guy. I wanted more of that. Instead of having him in, like, practical effects age makeup that wasn't great. Oh, you liked Prometheus. I'm glad that you liked it. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got it the other way around. Refresh my memory. Prometheus was the first of those two, wasn't it? Covenant was the second. I think I've confused myself. At any rate, I love that you loved one of them, but I just could not watch either. Just little things in Prometheus, like when a crashing alien ship is coming towards you and it's rolling in a straight line, it's really good to go at a perpendicular to it. Hey Heron! Thanks for joining us. How is your week going? I'm building up a stash of sleeping people. There we go, that's what I was looking for. That is no use to me, so I will sit back on that one. It's a Christmas cat! That emoticon is gorgeous. It is so cute. Yeah. Yeah, like there was the prospect that Covenant could have been better. Could have been a good film. But yeah, the just the scientific procedures, like just the steps that the crew go through, just the complete lack of and I'm like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not some bean counter. Like it's not like, you know, I know science, because I don't. Like I can regurgitate what I read, and that's about it. Hey son, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Wasteland. Yeah, it's not that like I'm a scientific purist or something, but it's internal consistency of a story. We all have basically, like, we all have this bullshit detector that trips when we're being lied to or when we're being subjected to lazy script writing. Like, we know. And there was definitely sections of Prometheus where that happened, where you're like, hang on, this doesn't match up with what you've told me about this character before, so why is this happening? Oh, it's happening because we need to get to point X or Y. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Nublar. Like, I love that you loved that film. My default state is always that people enjoy media. Like, whenever I go into a film, I don't go in wanting to hate it. So I love that you loved it. And just as a reminder, folks, although we do have Codsworth back on... Codsworth back on board. Friday night streams are happy streams, so let me know in chat what is the best thing that has happened to you this week. And at some point, I will chime in as well, although it's going to take some thinking. It's going to take some thinking for me. You always go into films wanting to hate them, son. Does that mean that when you're... Holy... That was rude. So does that mean that you're pleasantly surprised when they're good? Holy, that was harsh. Critical hits. Not even once, folks. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sometimes it's hard to tell with text. And I know that you've got a pragmatic outlook to some things, so I wasn't quite sure. What if it's a combat shotgun going on there? 42 points. That'll do. That'll do, pig. I just gotta make it through this guard. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, son of a... That was so close.
You have perished.
Ah, that was so close. Yeah, I annoy my partner, Heron. Like, you're embarrassed while you're watching it in the cinema. Sometimes I frustrate my partner because I can't control body language when I'm frustrated by a film. And the good news is here, now, we're not too far away from where we were before, so we're getting close to the end of things. But, yeah, for half of Prometheus, I was just there going... Just... throwing hands. It's a reunion! That's awesome! Ah! That's so cool. I'm just gonna let you folks catch up. I'm gonna shoot folks in the meantime. But yeah, let me know what the best thing is that's happened to you this week. Yep, it's that pattern, Heron. I feel like I've got more of an excuse this time around, because these fights are hard. And I got down to the last guard there. The last guard. Thought I was doing pretty well. Wait, what? I don't want to drop my stim packs, I just want to use one. Thank you. That's the icon I was hoping for. Yep. 7 times down, 8 times up. Whatever kills me makes me stronger? Maybe? Oh, that sounds complicated, son. Well, if you're okay to share, here to listen. Out in the West Texas town of Vault City, I put a hole in a big bunch of gods. Got it. Okay. In that case, then, yeah, it might be safe not to elaborate on. It might be safer not to elaborate on stream. Hey, Sammy P, welcome to the Wasteland. Thank you so much for joining us. How has your week been? Out in the West Texas town of Vault City, I threw grenades and I hit both the guards. My sensibilities. It sounds complicated. Stark was critically hit in the head. Oh, well, on the flip side of things, Sammy, I'm sorry to hear that there's no tour because work is good. $22. There we go. That'll do. I tell you, I'm really just aching for some combat meds in this fight. Just a bit of buff out would make things a lot better. Ah, I see. Okay. Ah, look, from my perspective, I'm fine with hearing about that. So I take it that explains the best and the worst case scenario of that. That's the up and then the down. There we go. Yeah, you just lie down for a sec there, Stark. Just have a rest. Out in the West Texas town of your ribcage. Oh, it's Kung Fu Cop! Ready to cause trouble. €200 worth. So was that just one big ride then? Or did that get... Oh yeah, okay. I was making an assumption based on region. That I was just reading that symbol wrong. Really? I did not know that, Zevensoft. I'd always assumed for no good reason that there was some ultimate difference in like potency. But I'm wrong. Whee! Well, that sounds like a fun time. If that's your bag, that sounds like a fun time. Well, except for that part. How did I miss a prone target? Oh, by the way, Heron, I had a lot of fun doing caps from the doing clips from the Alien Isolation stream. And looking back over it, I can see how you folks must have just been going, "It's right behind you!" The things that you pointed out about the game design there were a huge help, so thank you for that. Crushed glass and rat poison. That does not sound like fun. I guess crushed painkillers at least is something that's intended to be ingested? Huh. So are most of the... This is an education for me. So are most of the downsides of amphetamine to do with what it's cut with then? The impurities. Oh, hey folks! There's... Hey! Okay, I'm just gonna hop back in here. I am awaited. I don't know about it being Valhalla, but... Oh, if I can do cheeky peeks out of here. Oh no, I forgot to get my grenades! But that's okay. And I'll just pop back in here. Son of a... So if I can ask, Zevensoft, what are the side effects or downsides of dexamphetamine? Does that... If you're taking that basically to sort of even out your brain chemistry, does that end up making you feel like what you... Does it make you feel like zombie-ish or... Well, there's 3 bodies there. I'll take that. Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so it wasn't so much the downside, it was just basically getting that itch back. It's gonna let me get out of combat? No. I'm at... Oh, hey. Hey there, buddy. I probably shouldn't have done that. I was gonna wander back in there and see if I could... See if I could save. There we go. $48 points. I will take that. Gotcha. Okay. There's a oh, this reminds me actually. There's a hang on a sec. I'm gonna Google this. We're gonna lose sound for a second. There's a treatment for alcohol addiction. I don't know if that does the same thing. Claudia Christian pointed it out. I can't remember what it's called, but it's to do with the funnily enough, the Sinclair method, which is slightly like it's accidentally amusing in that there was a character called Sinclair on one of the shows that she is well known for. What is it? 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 It's not going to give me the name of the actual treatment. I knew this. Naltrexone. I wonder if that. So I wonder if that's useful outside of alcohol, alcohol addiction. But yeah, naltrexone is something that gets used for that too. Hang on, let's pop back into Streamlabs. Yeah, how's that? How's your path forward going at the moment with that Zevensoft? Are you still you're still working in the same office and dealing with the narcolepsy issues? Oh, hey, getting back up. Don't get up on my account. You just lie back down. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. That sucks. Oh, you. There it is. Yeah, you just lie down there. Just get comfy. Alright. There's no more healing packs there. So do you tend to get that in? You tend to get that given in hospital for mental health issues, son, or something else entirely? Oh, god damn!
You have died. Your quest to find the Garden of Eden and return it to your village has failed.
Just getting back to a default state. We're gonna get there, folks. We're gonna get there. The gate guards, unsurprisingly, are tough. Actually, no. There's no better door to... Yeah, and I imagine that's got to skew, once you get into a situation like that, that's got to skew sort of your view of normal. And it's got to make regulating your own stuff a lot more difficult. Yeah, you run, buddy. I did that because slavery. If I could get those vault gate guards to come first, that feels like it would be a plus. Oh man. Acing the citizens is totally worth it. So is that again, like, at any point, please, like, if I'm... Well, actually, you gave me the go-ahead there, so I'll stop putting caveats on questions. It's been a funny week for me, which is the only reason why I'm treading carefully. Is that an ADHD thing? Seven Soft? Ah, I managed to kill myself! That's a new one.
You have perished.
To do with the narcolepsy, I see. I'm glad I got that save in, though. Like, the loop at the moment that we're going through is a pretty tight loop. It's just like these 4 guards that are left here. Ah, actually... I wonder if I could get across to one of those buildings, if that would do anything. Oh, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah. Hey, citizen. How long have you had that diagnosis for, Nubla? That sounds like a tough cocktail to live with. I hope as well my questions never come across. I'm super conscious. Like, again, it's been a week for me. I'm super conscious as a neurotypical as well of my questions coming across feeling like objectification. So I hope that doesn't feel... I hope they don't feel that way when I'm asking questions about this stuff. Like, when we're talking about this sort of stuff from my perspective, my questions... I hope that it's apparent they come from a place of love. Asperger's has distinct characteristics associated with it, doesn't it? Compared to just autism spectrum disorder, if that's the correct term. And please let me know if it's not. I should probably do this. I should probably actually take my points for my level too. So you know what? I should take my points for my level and pump them in throw. But you could make a case, couldn't you make a case, Evan Soft, that, yeah, like once basically you've got something like that. So it's terrible phrasing, that once... Got it, understood, yep. Thank you for letting me know, Nubla. Stark goes down smooth. 58 points in a critical. I don't use my stim packs, Stark. Those are mine. I mean, not that I get them from your corpse anyway, but now I've got to... Congratulations to Nubla for reaching the rank of Initiate. Yeah, Stark, you laid down. Oh, damn! 51 points in a critical, and Stark is still just unconscious. It's tough stuff. Yeah, you've mentioned some of this before, son, and it does indeed, like, it absolutely sounds like some pretty hard yards. Oh! New challenger appears. Nublar, have you ever tried working with someone or talking to a professional around the stuff that you're dealing with? Again, if that's not an invasive question. Alright, let's do the level. Let's put some points in through. Because this is a useful skill. I don't mean talking about it here. I mean just working with a professional, like whatever that looks like. It's a tremendously presumptive question on my part, but I wonder if... And I know that it can be tough engaging with professionals, especially when you have a bad experience. Fair enough. Just wanted to ask the question. I'm gonna bump with the rest of this. I'm gonna bump small guns up all the way. How do you find that? How do you find like the self-discipline side of that over time, son? Do you find that moods, or I guess whatever's happening in sort of day-to-day life, can affect your level of like willpower? Or have you been working with this for so long that that's sort of a well-developed muscle for you? Let's try burst. See if that does anything. Yeah, 9 points. That's kind of why I stopped doing the bursts. Having people to give you that kick up the bum sounds like it would be a tremendous help. Oh, stim packs. Harsh. I think that still makes me the oldest person on stream. Only just. Borderline sounds like it would be really tough to deal with, Sevensoft, because it sounds like from what you're saying there that... Because I guess one of the things that we tend to use to deal with emotions is just an awareness of what's happening, but it sounds like that would subvert even that. Like you wouldn't get a sense of... You wouldn't be able to get a sense of what's happening to be able to process the emotion. I am, son. I'm older than you by 1 year. I'm 42. That's one credit card identification answer down. Ah, Captef, maybe a new challenger appears. Are you going to try and take the throne? Can you beat 42? Thank you, son. I just, yeah, I was about to Austin Powers it. I think part of it is I stay out of the sun. That's why I was like, blah. Oh, thank you, Nublar. Yeah, sorry, Zevin. I was saying that it sounds like, from what you're saying about borderline, it would be really rough to deal with because you don't even get a chance to be aware fully of the emotion that you're having before basically it disappears. Who's 42? I'm 42. I'm 42 and so is my wife. No, seriously, I'm 42. Yeah, you knew that. You knew that. But thank you very much for the compliments. Yeah. Yeah, I can't say I have personal experience with it some, but I mean from what you're saying I can imagine it would be very unpleasant. To answer your question too, Nublar, my white hair is in my beard. So a lot of ugly internal messaging then, Zevensoft, when you say that you hurt yourself psychologically. I imagine that's gotta do no end of fucking with your self-image. Come on. Why won't you die? Borderlines have trouble saying no and trouble asking for help. Ah, that's a bad recipe. I'm so sorry to hear that, Zevensoft. That's just a bad recipe. There we go. Damn it. No. Stim pack. Alright. This is not going to end well. Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense, Zevensoft. That any criticism or any negative emotions from other people don't land on you then. Well, that was terrible. Yeah, those bursts just aren't worth it. There it is, there's the next one.
Your life ends in the wasteland.
So poor life choices then, or getting into dangerous situations, son. So I guess that explains this. At the risk of this is not a bad joke in any sense, son, but when you're talking about feeling like Superman, so mania is that level of just sense of invulnerability then. Like it's that potent. That sounds like that would be a terrifying thing to live with because you'd have no frame of reference for what is a sensible action to take. So we've got left 3 guards left. Oh wow. Yeah, that sounds like that would be very, very difficult to live with. So now the question is, if I can just get these guards to come a little bit closer and grouped. Breaking my own line of sight rules here. Just peg grenades at everyone and see how that works. Whee! Not great, apparently. But it's in the interest of science. Yeah, this plan's not working better. Oh, I thought it was worth a try. Yep, that is not a better plan.
The wasteland has claimed your life. Arroyo attempts to send out others to search for the Gek, but they die quickly, and the village soon follows.
Oh, I see. I see. So you're saying in a hypomanic state, it's not just a delusion. It's not just a delusion of super competency. You actually do operate at a higher level. Oh wow. Yeah, that sounds like that would be. It would be I imagine it would be very difficult to want to get out of that state. Hey Lopo, how you doing? Welcome to the Wasteland. Thank you for joining us this Friday night. We are having some very good, but some very weighty chats. But you know, that's oftentimes how our Friday nights tend to go. So you're saying, Zevonsoft, the description of hypomanic state is how you feel typically? Oh wow. Yeah, it's got to be tough having come from. It's got to be tough having come from it, having that as sort of a much more regular experience, and then having it go away. So how's streaming treating you, Lopo? What's been happening in your neck of the woods? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I don't have a lot of reason to complain. It's been an interesting week in my neck of the woods, but we're watching me. I'm just peeling off the last set of guards in Vault City. I'm gonna get in there. I'm determined. We got so close. We've gotten so close, and we're getting closer every time. Oh, what have you been trying? So Zevensop, with modafinil, is that almost like that cinematic trope of just having sort of someone standing in place and everyone's whizzing around sort of high speed? Let's see if I can tap. Oh, there you all are. I wonder if I can sneak out of the way. I'm guessing not. I'll just hang out here for a sec. Where are they going? See ya, folks. That's a strange mix of games, Lepo. Dauntless Path of Exile, Beholder, Hand of Fate. Hand of Fate, by the way, made in Brisbane, Australia. Was that Hand of Fate 1 or 2? Out of curiosity. Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering Arena, I'm assuming. The new... Because they've put in like a new match mode in that. Battlefield 5 and Bloodborne. Oh, okay. If you're liking Hand of Fate 1, I highly recommend checking out Hand of Fate 2. They did a lot to, they did a lot with the formula to really evolve it. Yeah, I guess that... So the trick there, son, is the perception. Trying to find a way of... I guess that explains, like what you were saying earlier about amphetamines and why that was a good ride. Like, trying to get back to that feeling of operating at 100%, not, like, far below it. Why are they over there? And what can I do with that? Oh, I can come around the corner over there. Let's sneak up on them. Yeah, Hand of Fate 1 was, like, I've played a little bit of it, and I know some people had some criticisms about the combat, because I think it was going for sort of that rhythm, the rhythm game feel of, like, Assassin's Creed or the Arkham games. They've done a lot with it in Hand of Fate 2. And Anthony Scordy's voiceover as the dealer is amazing! Yeah, that's a really good way of framing it, Lopo. Like it was a punt in a direction because they're one of the biggest studios in Australia, but you know, the size of studios we have here compared to the US, it's not huge. So it was really a punt, and Hand of Fate 2 sort of delivers on the promise there. So what's been giving you the best numbers out of that big mix, Lopo? Like, where have you found there's been any predictable pattern? But yeah, I feel for you, son. Like that. Yeah, that feeling of just constantly treading through treacle. That's got it. That's tough. Like yeah, no frame of reference for that. But knowing that knowing especially that there are ways that you could. Let's go into combat mode here. Knowing especially that there are ways that you could amp up that speed, but there's complications associated with them. That sucks. Yeah, I definitely recommend Hand of Fate 2. Yeah, no doubt. Hey Valavian, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the stream. You want a Legend of the Five Rings card video game? The new Legend of the Five Rings game, I'm just going to save again because I'm right on the precipice of this going off. There is a, do you know about Ring Techie, Valavian? Because there's a couple of websites where you can play the Legend of the Five Rings new card game, but you play it multiplayer with people online. The interface is pretty good for it. So there are ways to play it online. There you go. Yeah, hang on. We're going to lose sound for a sec, folks, because I'm going to pop out to the browser. To the browser. Let's try the browser. Ring Techie. It's got... Oh, there it is. It's, It does depend, though. It does depend, admittedly, whether you're looking for the old game or the new game, Valavian. But, that is a way you can play the new Legend of the Five Rings, which, for my money, is actually... It's more sophisticated, and it's more interesting than the old one. Yeah, Battlefield, I guess, would be one of those ones where you're competing. It'd be like playing Fortnite. You're kind of competing with established players. Plus, it seems like Battlefield 5's having a little bit of trouble. No, I haven't. I know of West of Loathing, Capdaf, but I haven't played it. It looks amazing. My partner used to play their what was the original? Kingdoms of Loathing. She used to play Kingdoms of Loathing, and I've offered to pick it up. I've offered to pick up West of Loathing on Switch. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted, folks. We wanted some big old hits. It's the crazy hits that you've been waiting for. Yeah, apparently the writing in that is really good. Simple toolset like Neverwinter Nights 1, but based on a faithful of the GURPS. GURPS 4E. Ooh, that is a deep cut, son. Good old GURPS. Man, I remember going into game stores back in the mid-90s, and there would just be GURPS everything. Like, that was it was a really great time for role-playing games, because there was just so much amazing gonzo stuff. People were just throwing stuff at a wall. Like, it feels like nowadays we've got some really good... There's some really good, like, roll-your-own stuff for doing systemless, or doing, like, really light systems, but... Yeah, it was so good. Like, I remember there's an amazing sci-fi series called War Against the Couture, written by David Gerald, which, if you've never read it, I highly recommend. Hey folks, there you go. Oh, look at those juicy numbers. Everyone loves a grenade. I love terrible puns, Capdaf. Terrible puns are my jam, so that sounds fantastic. GURPS Battle Royale. That would be a thing. I hope everything at the vet goes well, Lopo. Thank you so much for dropping in. Very much appreciate your company. It's great to see you again. What do we want to do here? I reckon we're going to throw another grenade in. Let's use these points. And then let's just duck around the corner. I'm probably going to get shot once. I'm going to bank though those AP. GURPS Battle Royale. Yes, that would be a thing. A simple toolset like Neverwinter. Yeah, Neverwinter Nights. There was, because I know that there was a new D&D one. There was a new D&D game that is out or was coming out that was based on the Sword Coast. That seems to be doing okay. Hey, Dr. Not So Happy. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that tonight finds you maybe a little happier than not so happy. That's a really, really bad joke / comment. Color commentary based on your name. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Neverwinter Nights 1 is $12. Oh, West of Loathing is. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna bank those AP. Oh!
Rest in peace.
10 out of 10 joke. You are very kind. Speaking of Steam, just bear with me for a quick second. I just need to stop my notifications there. Hey, buddy. Stream at the moment. Talk. Ping me tomorrow? Sorry about that. I'm just gonna... I've got to remember how to, in Stream's new chat, how to go invisible. Go offline? Go offline. No. Away. Invisible. There we go. I'm invisible. I've gone. Poof. Plosive into the mic there. Apologies for that. So what is the best thing, for those of you who have just joined us, what is the best thing that has happened to you this week? Let's get our sound back. There we go. We're back. No crashes. I just had to stop, stream. Strip there. I'm crashing. I just had to stop some Steam notifications. Alright. That grenade worked pretty well. Yeah, that was some harsh automatic fire there. Whap whap. But I feel like this strategy has some teeth to it. Hello. Hello everyone. Would you like a grenade? New shoes! Ah! Love new shoes. New shoes are always a good idea. Ah, that's good. That's beefy. I wonder... Oh, I don't have enough action points to go in there. But that feels like it might actually be the best thing to do. Don't use stim packs. Cover is in a cover song, CapDef? I didn't know that you... If that's the case, I did not know that you wrote music. Why am I using plasma grenades on humans? Because they do lots of damage. Dr. Not So Happy? I mean, they're not EMP grenades. Am I missing something there? As far as I'm aware, plasma is just a higher strength form of grenade. Should I be saving? Tell me more. Am I missing something? Because I didn't think that they were. I didn't think that they were robots only. Because that's normally the EMP grenades. I'm gonna wander around here. I'm just gonna go down here. Oh, hi everyone. Oh, nice. I did not know that. You're a man of many talents, Capdev. Thank you very much for the host, Lopo. Very much appreciated. Thank you, Codsworth, for noticing it was happening. So good to have Codsworth back with us. Which is just the name that I call our voiceover AU bot, because someone on Twitch has the handle Codsworth and isn't using it actively. Same with Mr. Handy. Every now and then I'll go back and I'll look at their accounts. I'm like, they're not even using the names. They have the good names. Ah, that was weak. That was not good. Now folks are gonna shoot me. Because I'm just hoping that... I'm just going to stand still now. I'm just hoping that a few... Can you... Nice. Nice, Evansoft. Yeah, when I was tweeting something to do with you, Sammy, yeah, there's a lot of real Sammy Ps. It took a moment for me to figure out where you were. You know what, I reckon if I do this again, but I don't do the running part, because I just get shot anyway. That's the thing that's killing me here. Alright, speaking of. Because last round, if I'd thrown 2 grenades in instead of 1, I reckon that might have tipped. Might have tipped things. Yeah, there it is. So close. So close.
Lost, doomed to die of starvation.
Aww. Well, I appreciate the compliment in that, Sevensoft. I appreciate it. Like, if anything, people... It tends to be that the one thing that people underestimate my age for is just energy, which I take as a huge compliment. And I think that's far more important than what you look like. Played the game 7 years ago, can't remember it well. No, that's actually not true, Doctor. Not so happy. The plasma grenades tend to do pretty beefy damage. Like, you would have noticed before that when I was throwing the other grenades that I've got, basically the frag grenades, they're doing about sort of 14, 15. Plasma grenades will do like 30 to 50 on a human. So they do pretty hefty damage. It can be based on armor type as well. And yes, you are indeed the realist. The realist of Sammy P's. Sammy P. Oh, Nubla, you've taken it to an awkward place. Just call me daddy. I tell you what though, the points in throw I think are paying off here. The moment that I say that, I critically fail throwing a grenade. Yeah. Just in time for Christmas, get yourself a new daddy. Stepdad is 49. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. 49 is the high score I'm beating. That's when my father passed away and I refused to let that motherfucker have the high score. That's my target. Oh! Well, that was ineffectual. Damn it, and I know that there are stim packs over there now, but I don't want to go get them. Oh no, look, I've talked about it. I probably talk about it far too much. I've talked about it on stream before, but I mean, he passed away from a bunch of really just bad life decisions. Look after yourself. Speaking of which, I'm about to die. This is not a good version of this. Hey Demek, thank you so much for joining the stream! When he was 29. I can't remember if we've had that conversation before, Zevensoft, but I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, 29 is... Like, it doesn't matter what kind of person you are. Like, that's way too young. That's way too young. 29. I'm rethinking this whole standing out in the open approach, too. I don't know why I opened my inventory then. I know that I don't have any more stim packs. Yeah, this is not going to be the go. Oh wow, that's... Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that, Zevin.
Are interested in your radiated corpse.
How has your week been, Demank? What is the best thing that's happened to you this week, in amongst... We're radiating to some heavy chats. We seem to basically... There's a gravity well here. The heavy chats. That one was my fault. That was... Well, sorry, no, that's a terrible way of framing it. I mean, this is why we're here. We're talking about whatever, you know, whatever comes up is what we're talking about. And I appreciate... Like, I always walk away from these streams just feeling incredibly fortunate for the candor that you folks approach chat with. I really appreciate the openness that you have. I also appreciate your patience. Also appreciate your patience with me dying. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there with these shit heals. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try going in here. Can I sneak all the way past them in there?
See ya!
Yeah, death is inevitable, that's true. Very much appreciated, Nubla. Yep. Same screen. Look, I'm in a different place now. I'm in a different place. I'm gonna get there. I've just got 4 guards left to go. I'm determined. I'm determined. It's gonna happen. Today's the day. Hey everyone. Oh, this is what I want. So you folks are all over there. So let's just drop that there. Look at those numbers. That's what I want. And I'll just pop inside here. Besides, I've got the Bridgekeeper's armor. That's the Bridgekeeper's robes. They're doing pretty well for me. Nice, nice, Sevensoft. Is this the video game equivalent of breaking out of prison by bashing your head against the wall until it gives way? I'm not sure. Yep, I am still mastering Vault City. I've got like most of them down now. See, this is what I love about being here. It's the sense of support and community that comes from you folks. I'm so close though. This is the last batch of guards. I've gotten through most of them. I would go and get... Like, I would go off and get power armor or just tool around, but I want to advance the main story around the Gek because I'm already 2 warnings in, like 2 warnings from the tribe, so I'm worried that I'm just going to run out of time. Plus, maybe I like torturing you folks. Oh, wait, hang on, there's a guard in here? Why is there a guard in here? We'll see how we go. My last save, at any rate, my last save is at a point where I can just leave and come back. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I can? I did not know that, Doctor. Thank you for letting me know. I thought that like Fallout 1 that there was a hard timer on getting the Gek before everything else happens. What's Let It Die, by the way, Demang? I should go stream something like Spider-Man, because I don't die playing Spider-Man. I don't think anyone dies playing Spider-Man. Son of a... Look, I'm having fun, okay? Alright. I think I'm going to need to open my inventory. Because I want to do that. And I want to do this. I'm telling you, I reckon I can get through this. I reckon I can. Thank you so much for the follow, Dr. Not So Happy. Our audio alerts are silent tonight.
A steadfast supporter.
There we go. Thank you. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess I wasn't super worried about the I wasn't super worried about my tribe. I was worried about there being a hard fail state in the game. Son of a... Yeah, if I'd known she was in here, I would not have started this fight without clearing her out first. Maybe, just maybe, I'm doing the Edge of Tomorrow version of Fallout. Maybe that's what I'm doing. There we go. Those points in throw are definitely paying off. Alright, let's go one that way. We've got one of them. Oh no, Doctor Not So Happy, don't. No. There's no, don't like just turning up and being part of the conversation, and you know, like everyone else, heaping shit on me for dying. That's more than enough. Like, don't ever feel that like there's an impetus to sub or anything like that. I just love having you folks here. Yeah, no argument whatsoever. Tom Cruise does amazing. He is really good at action. And it's great watching him in stuff now that he doesn't have his sister as a publicist again. Hang on, why can't I shoot you? What's blocking me from your line of sight? Can't shoot either of you? I have ammo. I'm so confused. Right, fuck it, I'll just throw another grenade. Alright, that's 2 down. Yeah, I don't know about Tom Cruise personally. From all accounts, he sounds like he's a really interesting guy, and if he sounds like he's someone who takes his friendships very seriously, but Yeah, putting aside the Scientology thing and his personal conduct, it's hard to fault him as an action star. He does really good work there. That was not good. This is the closest I've come. Because I reckon that there's stim packs on those guards that are on the floor. I just don't have the time. So next time around, because most of the damage I've taken here is from that shotgun. There it is. Getting close. If I take out that shotgun first. There's a Top Gun too? I did not know about that. Yeah, Scientology. Scientology is an evil, evil goddamn religion. Like, Scientology basically is taking advantage of people. Taking advantage of people's... What's a good way to frame it? Susceptibility and feeling in some ways that they shouldn't have what they have. It's not a great religion by any stretch. And it has killed people. There's some really good documentaries on Netflix about the religion as well. Yeah, no stress, Doctor. Not so happy. I'll be off in just about 45 minutes. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. It's not going to give me the time to go through. So I can't get rid of her before I get through that crowd. So that strategy's not going to work. Damn it! Oh, with the other racers, Evansoft, Days of Thunder. Well, if Days of Thunder is a G-rated Brokeback Mountain, like Top Gun probably pushes that out to like an M-rated Brokeback Mountain. Because oh man, the dialogue in that as well. Yeah, one happy thing about Scientology, though, is it sounds like the religion is falling apart. They've had a lot of desertions from high-profile or high-ranking members. I don't know why I keep looking in there. I know that I don't have stim packs at the moment. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. But if I can get in there, without them shooting at me, which is just a matter of me starting my action first. There we go. But yeah, putting aside the Scientology, like I would say that like his work in the Mission Impossible franchise is amazing. Edge of Tomorrow is incredible. Like Emily Blunt in that is just fantastic. And he's good in it too. Yeah, good point, Sammy. It's like, is there the thing I'm looking for now? All right, I'm going to save again because I'm in the spot that I want. I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to feel so good when I get on the other side of this. And I'm victorious. Oh, okay. Well, Demank, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend starting with... I would start with Edge of Tomorrow because it's probably the least egotistical role. Like, he has a real without spoiling anything about the film, he has a real underdog role compared to a lot of his other films. And I think that's a real strength. And Emily Blunt is just amazing. Oh, he's fantastic in Tropic Thunder, that's true, but it's not sort of, that's not classic Tom. Alright, this is working not too well either. What? Emily Blunt is easy on the eyes. The Mission Impossible film that has Philip Seymour Hoffman in it is great, if for no other reason than for Philip Seymour Hoffman, because he is amazing, and we are all the poorer for his passing. Yeah, this isn't going to work. This is going to end very poorly very quickly. I got close though. I was down to the last guard. It's also, yeah, Nublar, it's also I've seen that used in America as well. Yeah, that's right. Tropic Thunder is the parody. And yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s role in that is complicated because he's a white guy in blackface. Yeah, he's basically a the character is basically a Heath Ledger parody as far as I can parse it. That was a terrible throw. Yeah, it's close to that. He's an Australian, yeah.
The darkness of the afterlife is all that awaits you now. May you find more peace in that world than you found in this one.
Tom Cruise was the agent. He was wearing a fat suit in that, but he was basically the agent for Ben Stiller's character. That's right, the producer. And that's right, Matthew McConaughey was the agent. He was the producer. And yeah, he's incredible in that. Alright, I actually don't think that's a better position, because that just ends up getting sandwiched. So let's go back to this. Yeah, that's right, he's a disgusting slob. He does the dancing in the credits. It's a fun role, because he's taking the mickey out of himself completely. Apparently for that as well, like, the director had to fly home for a serious family emergency, and Tom Cruise basically just pulled out the stops and ended up directing basically like a shoot that needed to go, like it was 2 days worth of shooting. Apparently, like the dude turned up in set like in a karate gi. I think it was, yeah, it was a karate gi. I don't think there was anything else like strange about what he was wearing. But he turned up and he got the thing done basically like in a day, so that the director could just like fly out and like, you know, it was like, go, you need to do a thing. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man was an amazing, like that was such an amazing casting. Tony Stank. Oh, just to get some housekeeping out of the way too, folks, because we are coming up on just around about half an hour left. A huge thank you to those of us who have joined the fleet as new followers during our last stream. So a huge thank you to Hamstar001, to Zor836, not 386, but 836, to Dasbright In Games, to Giro12, to John Smith Jones, to Heron HQ, who popped in and joined us tonight, to Peace Official, and to Monkey Farts, which is probably my favorite Twitch name that I've heard this week. Also, a giant thank you to those of you who have followed during this stream. So to Dr. Not So Happy, and I think that Streamlabs is not showing me like a couple of the ones you have. So 10 deaths. I'll see if I can beat that, but we'll see how we go. Look, here's my gift. Here's my gift to you, Zevensoft. If I can't get through this fight tonight.
A kind gesture.
Oh, thank you so much for the bits. Is that like 1 per death tonight? To keep the theme running? Thank you so much for the cheers. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Capdef. For those of us who are in Victoria, tomorrow is voting time. Super important. Go get your democracy sausage. Is Wayne Jude the voice of the narrator in Darkest Dungeon? Because that's where the sound pack came from. So it may well be Wayne Jude. I can't remember the name. It's been a while since I've looked. Yes, vote or die. Tom Cruise looks human in Tropic Thunder. See, that's the thing that kills me. That's the thing that kills me on like playing this game of Chasey. Wop wop. You missed. Yeah, see, look, twice. There we go. That's more what I was hoping for. Because this rearguard action, just pegging grenades at them, like that should work, rather. Oh wow, I did not know that he would have an amazing voice for Lovecraft. That would be incredible. And there it is. So close. So close!
Died. Your village is lost, doomed to die of starvation.
But yes, I do indeed have his amazing, alerts on from the pack that they released for Darkest Dungeon, which was super generous, just out there and free. Oh, one other thing I should mention from a housekeeping perspective as well. So I don't think that's actually going to do what I want. Let's go around. Yeah. As a celebration of reaching 100 followers, when we hit that point, I'm going to be doing a stream of... Oh, you're going to tell me I can't get around that way, aren't you? I guess that's why they're grouping there. No, wait, hang on. I can. No, I can't. I can't get around there. Oh, that's okay. I'll just go around the long way. Oh, wow. He's released audiobooks free on YouTube. That's amazing. Yeah, sorry. I'll finish that thought too. Once we reach 100 followers, which is actually looking at happening terrifyingly soon, I will be doing a subathon playing Hitman 2. Cosplay. Whole gamut. Suit. Shaved head. Gloves. I'm going to see how well I can use a controller with gloves on, at least for a little while. Those of you who are tired of watching me die, that might be mortifying you right now, but I'm going to see how it works. But yeah, going to be doing a marathon stream of Hitman 2. I will let people know when there are more details. Yep, I'm still here, Dr. Happy. That's only 15 minutes though, you gotta give me another 15. Yeah, there's no copyright on... There's no copyright on... I don't say things for a living. There's no copyright on Lovecraft's work, but I'm surprised that they'd be free on YouTube because he's a professional actor. So it's interesting that he's just put that work out there. I've never actually played a Hitman. I've never actually played a Hitman game, and I'm curious. But yeah, also because he's bald and he wears a suit, it's always been like my go-to cosplay for turning up at cons. Like, pop a suit on, shave your head, super easy. Oh, that's cold, Valavian. So for those of you watching back on chat, folks are getting awful saucy watching me die here. Valavian has just said, I might take a screenshot of the game so I can rewatch tomorrow. 2 frames. 1 for actions, and 1 for the death screen. Motherfucker. Ah. It wouldn't hurt so much if it wasn't true. You know what? I've realized the thing I can do right now to extend my chances while the guards basically are, while the guards are all clustering up there, the citizens have stim packs. So I'm gonna shake them up for stim packs. Yes, there you go. So Demank, I'm glad that you're a fan. Like, I don't know why, but I've never played. Never played. Well, I'm hearing amazing things. Like, Rebel FM tends to be, which actually Valavian put me onto a while back as a podcast. I'm hearing really good things about Hitman 2 from Rebel FM, and they're serious fans of the franchise. So that's probably going to be the point that I'll dive in. Hitman Codename 47, where does that sit basically in the lineage of the franchise, though? No, as Evansoft, to answer your question, no. Most of the time when cons come up, I'm too busy. So, like, too busy planning ahead of time for other stuff to do cosplay. But that being said, this year, apparently I've got to play Bo from the new She-Ra. Because my daughter loves the new She-Ra, and we're going to be going as a family, so my partner's going to be going as Glimmer, my daughter's going to be going as She-Ra, and I'm going to be going as Bo. Gandalf and Moaning Myrtle. Oh, that's awesome! That's fantastic! So Zevensoft, you've cosplayed Gandalf. I can see you as Gandalf, and Moaning Myrtle, that's some real range there. Yeah, so if Codename 47 is dated, that's probably part of what's making me want to hit up like Hitman 2 first, because you can also play the first chapter of the last game with the new engine. Yeah, I've got a world of respect for you folks who do cosplay regularly. Most of the time I'm just too lazy. Or too busy. Which is a terrible excuse. So Absolution had too much story. Interesting. The second Hitman movie came out. It was a thing. There's a really great episode. There's a really great episode of the Nerdist podcast with Timothy Oliphant and the Nerdist guy whose name escapes me at the moment, where Timothy Oliphant talks about or alludes to the experience of making that film, the first Hitman film. Yeah, first Hitman movie was Timothy Oliphant. There was a second as well. I can't remember. I couldn't even tell you the name of the actor. But they did make a second one, which was a reboot, I guess, completely different actor. 101 points in small guns, and I miss this motherfucker running out the door. That is not on. I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you. There you go. That's what it's all about. I think one of the problems watching, you'd have watching Hitman nowadays, the movie, like without having watched the second one, like John Wick is just this inevitable comparison, and the action in John Wick is incredible. It is incredible. Ah, you folks are getting awful salty at me. Zevensoft just said, the actor is probably some guy who streams himself dying over and over again on Twitch. Yeah, it's my motivation. It's how I get my motivation. It's how I get into the role of someone who's dying constantly. Motherfuckers. Ah. Look, I'm telling you, there are stim packs. I'm getting stim packs. I'm collecting them from... Where on earth did that person's corpse go? Oh, I guess not getting stim packs from you. Salt can be used... Oh! Oh! You wound me! You folks wound me! I guess, Demank, if you found Hitman a bit too much actiony, I suppose I get what you might be referring to there. That Hitman as a franchise is more slow burn and assassination rather than it being gunplay. John Wick I highly recommend. It's one of the best action films that I've seen in a long time because the two directors are actually fight choreos. Sorry, no, they were stunt coordinators. And the action in that film is incredible. You motherfuckers. Yeah, look, I don't like people getting confused, so I try and stay on the one screen for as long as I can. I'm gonna be so goddamn proud. You know what? Actually, next stream, I think I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here and bull through this. Till I get through. Just to spite you folks. Yeah, Keanu Reeves is one of those actors, like, when he finds the right project, and he was amazing in The Matrix. I don't know who the troublemaker is who started the salt, but the whole stream's been infected. I've just got to wear it now. Just got to wear it in good humor. Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Oh, congratulations, by the way, to Captap for reaching the rank of aspirant. Very well done. Especially for your patience. As people have pointed out, going through the same content. Ah, no stim pack. Alright, let's have a look in the house. I'm just going to go full raid in this place. I'm just going to loot it from top to bottom. Oh, okay. What sort of martial arts do you like in real life to make? And I think you'd like John Wick then, because John Wick has a lot of gun fu, so it's got a lot of stuff basically where it's close quarters gunplay and fighting, and it's just amazing. The action is incredible and it flows so well, and unlike a lot of films, especially like if you like martial arts, I think the thing that you might dig about it, at the risk of overselling it, is the cinematography around the action is able to stick with the action, which is rare a lot of the time. Like, you'll see people cheat just by basically using sort of like breaks in shots in order to Matrix Trilogy is going to be released in 4K. That'll be interesting. Like, are they going to redo the effects for that then, or kickboxing and jiu-jitsu? Nice. Love your work. That's awesome. I imagine that would do a lot to keep you fit too. I've been toying with the idea of starting to learn Sistema because there's a school nearby where I live. Mostly because, like, for a couple of reasons. One, basically, is just sort of trying to get back into that self-defense mindset. The other one is I've started doing a lot of movement work with my personal trainer, just to get basically match fit for performance capture. And I've found that the more I do it, the more I love moving. So just doing something with that. keep fit or die trying. The story of the first Matrix film was pretty solid, like that. I'm with you though. I'm absolutely with you. Once you start talking about the sequels. Nice, that's awesome. How long have you been doing that for, Demank? Well, that's one of the advantages of having a regimen like that, isn't it? That the more you exercise, the more you can indulge and still stay relatively fit. The first Matrix in 10-bit. You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Sevensoft. How? What? Like, is that like ASCII art? Tell me more. Nice. Oh, okay. I've never heard of the term 10-bit. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds like that combination would keep you pretty well supported too, Demank, because isn't one of the conceits of like fighting that like 90% of fights end up on the ground, which is why something like jiu-jitsu is so important? Vivid colors without oversaturation. That sounds fantastic. Because that is a gorgeous, like especially the first Matrix film, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous film. Its color palette's amazing. Well, I mean, to be fair, we kind of knew that was coming, Zevensoft. Like, if you watched like, not everyone's a fan of Speed Racer, but it's a pretty film. Oh, wow. But apologies if someone answered this already and I missed it. Does that mean that they're redoing the visual effects though? That would have to be, wouldn't they? Because if you've got that level of visual acuity, like in terms of basically sort of the print, for want of a better word, I know it's a digital film, so it doesn't really apply, but I mean, if you've got that level of detail in the in just basically the quality of the image, wouldn't you have to redo a lot of the VFX as well? Oh, okay. I've obviously been told wrong then. Admittedly, I was told that by a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu proponent, so they might have been lying. Can I? I wonder. Can I? Door entry computer. Can I just try and get in? Let's science that computer. Fail to learn anything. So it's not going to let me in yet. So there's obviously something I need to get from those guards. Oh, that's a pain. I did not know that about Lana Wachowski's Evansoft. That's awesome. I love that they seem to have both found who they are. Like whenever people can do that, whatever the math is on it. It's awesome when people are able to realize and achieve who they are. Okay. Wow, I did not know that a jiu-jitsu fighter would be able to kill someone in seconds. I just assumed that that it would be about losing control of the fight. But there you go. Speaking of losing control of the fight, let's try it from this angle. Because I don't think... Let's go check in the correction center and just make sure there isn't anyone in here who's gonna ruin my day. Oh, there is someone who would ruin my day. There you go. Let's get rid of you. Oh, I thought the whole neck snapping thing was like a cinematic myth. Interesting. I did not know that. There you go. I'm learning tonight. Thank you very much for that. Oh, I see. So Lana, because Lana came, like, yeah, Lana sort of came forward very publicly herself. I couldn't even, actually, I'm not even sure what their pronouns are. Gotcha, but Lily was then pushed out into the public. That sucks. Fucking Daily Mail. The world would be a better place without that rag. Gotcha, okay, so Lana is she, her. Thank you for the clarification, I appreciate that, Sevensoft. Oh, just the ease of doing it in a fight. Like, I'm aware of the fact that a neck can be snapped to Mank. I should clarify that. But the whole Hollywood thing of the whole, like, you know, getting someone basically in a hold and then snapping their neck. I thought basically the practicality of being able to do that in a fight, I thought that was a myth, if that makes any more sense. I'm happy to be wrong. Neck snaps ahoy. Oh, okay. But I mean, once your neck's broken, like, the difference between dead and incapacitated, like, that's not a huge difference, is it? Well, thank you for looking, Valavian. That's awesome. $55 for the complete set. So you get the first Matrix film and 2 very attractive coasters. Although Valavian, I'm imagining part of the draw there is maybe Monica Bellucci in 4K? Is that fair to say? While we're on the topic of people who are easy on the eye. Gotcha. Oh, okay, I see. People whose necks have snapped and they've recovered. Okay. But, like, that would be recovered after some pretty serious, like, medical intervention, right? That reminds me, Valavian, this is interesting, keeping track of multiple conversations at once. Let's see how we go. And I'm not dying. I'm not dying, folks. Maybe that's because I'm playing slowly, but, have you seen Shoot 'em Up, Valavian? As a Monica Bellucci fan? Because if you haven't, you need to see that film. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That is correct. Clive Owen. See a locker. Let's open that locker. We'll get that lock pick going on. You failed to disable the lock. Son of a... Let's try the other one. Alright. You failed to disable the lock. 80%. Some serious stuff going on here. Still failed to disable the lock. Let's try the other one. I get the feeling I'm going to need a key for those. Sorry, are you asking me there, Demank, about martial arts? Or is that a question for another member of chat? Please hold. I will catch up with chat. Ah, yes. I used to do. I was kind of reminded of this before when you were talking about Aikido. I used to do like Mana style Kung Fu, and so I know what you mean about sort of martial arts that are impractical, because one of the things I loved about that, the philosophy, like I stopped going because I didn't really jibe well with the teachers there after a while, or like one of the teachers, but their philosophy was always do everything you can to not get in a fight, but if you get into a fight, here is how to dismantle human beings. Like, it was always basically teaching sort of maximum effectiveness, which is good, because there's a bunch of martial arts out there that are more sports than martial arts, and that's great if that's what you're looking for, but there's a real danger. There's a real danger of just setting people out into the world with things that aren't practical. Like the number of horror stories you hear about someone who's like an eighth dan karate master, been studying it for years, and then just gets like fucked up in a back alley, or you know, in a fight outside of a club, because they don't train for situational awareness. They don't train basically for being able to deal with things like, you know, groups of people. Your sparring always starts like Street Fighter style, where you've got two people basically going nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. Yeah. So 4 to 5 major things in the next Evansoft, and it sounds like all of those things are things that I want to have intact. Yeah, I never learned. I was so bummed. I did yoga at a local place, and I never learned yoga fire. I guess you got to do it for a long time for that. Kung Fu has different animal styles. There probably is a style of Kung Fu with monkey palm. Well, I'm gravely disappointed by this building. It does not have what I want. And I've got this ugly feeling I'm going to need to go and fight one of the vault guards in order to actually get what I need, which is a key or a way to use that computer. All right, let's try it again. Oh yeah, look, Demank, like I don't do yoga at the moment, but I highly recommend Pilates. Like that's basically what my PT has me doing, like a bunch of bodyweight exercises with Pilates. And look, there is always that. There is always that, at the danger of being a creeper. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy in the yoga class. But that's a definite advantage of doing yoga. But yeah, yoga and Pilates, in terms of just basically just increasing your body's capability to respond, are amazing. Why can't I throw over there? Is that too far away? Nice! Keeping it slick. That's the way to do it. That did not go well. My luck is down at about 4 from memory. It is not a high. But I mean, to be fair, I think that grenade shot missed because I tried pegging it from very far away. Please hold. Ow. Ow. Yeah, it's down at 4. But yeah, highly recommend yoga. I had an amazing yoga instructor for a while because she was really aggressive about the whole thing. Whenever she saw basically that you were starting to sort of struggle with the pose, she'd just come along basically and just make it hurt more, which I got a real weak spot for that. See, I looked at the builds, and the information that I got online was basically saying that like luck is good for crits, but it doesn't, like, even looking at the rulebook, I don't think it affects your chance to hit. It's just your chance to crit. I could be wrong. But that's what I remember from when I was doing prep with the character. It's taking a while because I don't have stim packs. And I like dying a lot. Sneaking is actually surprisingly useful though. I'm liking that. But yeah, I definitely recommend going for yoga. Ah, nice. Half your luck. Yeah, hits perception, which is like up on 10. Sweet. Maximizing your damage capacity. That's you with the yoga, by the way. Oh, that didn't look like fun, people. Should we do it again? Let's do it again. Oh man, 16%, and I got all of them. That was solid. And now's the point that I run away. I couldn't quite run fast enough there. Alright, let's try that. And then I fade into blackness. Yeah, I've done yoga before for a while. And yeah, like your point, Damank, about people in the class, yeah, like that is, it's definitely a plus. Yoga instructor she was nice, and there was some nice people in class too. Yeah, if I get what you're putting down there, Demank, there's two styles of yoga. Like there's people basically who are into sort of all of the namaste stuff and the spirituality, and there's people who are like, this is a practical set of ways to build your body. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the namaste camp. Ah, it's not even gonna let me throw at you. And we were going so well. Okay, I'm gonna bank. There it is. Whew.
Your quest to find the Garden of Eden and return it to your village has failed.
Yeah, so I guess like anything, like whether it's a therapist or whether it's a yoga instructor, it can take a while to find someone who jives with you. But when you find a good one, they are amazing. Yeah, the one that I studied with for a while, she had a really fiery personality and she was awesome. She just liked causing pain in a good way. Oh, nice, nice. It sounds like you're really getting into it, Demank. Where are you based? I know you've told me this before, but I've forgotten. I've got a terrible memory here. Where are you based? So yeah, Zevonsoft, I would highly recommend doing either yoga or Pilates for not only getting your flexibility back, but also building... It just builds your capability. Like, you get a real... I found personally that it just really... You start enjoying moving because you're using sort of a much broader range of your body's capability again. I know, 2 minutes, Capdaf, 2 minutes. I think I'm going to stay here on the load screen, and I think I'm going to have to give up on scorching Vault City for now. I think I'm going to have to go away and regroup. Yeah, in fact, we could even start that now. Yeah, I'm not going to get through that last part of that fight. I don't have the healing capability for it. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Oh, tiny town in Sweden. There you go. Yeah, hotbox yoga is definitely a thing. I've never done it myself, but... Alright, let's leave Vault City. Let's walk the F out of here. What's that? Hotbox yoga being a white person thing? Could be. Could be. And yeah, don't get me wrong, like I think that there's definite pluses to meditation, but I think there are some people who get drawn to yoga who attach themselves too much to just the cultural trappings of it. If that makes any sense. It's like a long time ago, I knew someone who belly danced, and it reminds me of that. Like belly dancing basically is a style of dancing. Like you learn sort of like practical stuff. Like it's a way of doing things, but there's also this weird almost fetishization of sort of culture surrounding it, which just starts getting icky. I think you can get that with yoga too. Yeah, culture. No, that's a really good point, Zevonsoft. Alright, let's take out this last guard, and then we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave. Do not like your town. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that Fallout 4 crashed for you, Capdaf. That sucks. That sucks. Thanks, Noobler. Good night, Capdaf. Thanks for being part of the conversation. Really appreciate your company. Sorry, Ishka Zevensoft. Is that the... Tell me more. But yeah, it's like those numbskulls who have dream catchers in their cars. For God only knows what reason. Couldn't even leave the city. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. I remember that. Oh, they've got
Are interested in your radiated corpse.
yeah, their logo uses like Viner Hand ITC or something like that, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. Why are they dreaming in their cars? Like, are you gonna fall asleep in your car? Hopefully, not while you're driving. It's stupid. Well, I think even in that case, Demank, yeah, like, in general, when you're talking about hippie culture, yeah, whatever floats your boat is good. But, like, when you get into that, like, basic white person application of this stuff, like, shit like dream catchers, like, these are the things that mean things, and when people just latch onto them because they like the aesthetic of them and then just basically use something that has sort of like it has a cultural purpose. It has a connotation, and people just use it as an aesthetic thing where they're like, I think that looks pretty, so I'm just going to put it on my car. No! Don't do that. Acid road trips. Papyrus, that's it. That's the font. I was thinking of Viner Hand ITC, because that's the other one that shows up with those sorts of things. But yeah. Yeah, Papyrus. Fucking everywhere with that stuff. Anyway, I'm being salty, because you're right, Demank. Like, ultimately, when you do your own thing, if you do your own thing and you don't hurt other people, then, you know, that is innocuous, largely. I can imagine they do. Alright, I just want to get to the door so all you folks can breathe a sigh of relief that it's over. Oh, I can't hit you yet. Oh. This actually could be challenging. There's still 3 guards at the door. Huh. I might not actually be able to get out. Let's find out. There we go. It's over, folks. Breathe a sigh of relief. So a lot of people become hippy-dippy after hallucinogens. Just catching up on stream there after making sure I can get out to the door. I'll have to talk to you again about that sometime, Zevensoft, because I find... Good night, Sammy P. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, there's part of me that finds, like, some of the stuff that Grant Morrison says, like, interesting, and when he talks about sigil magic, that sort of thing. I find that interesting. I don't know where I stand on it, so yeah, I'll have to talk to you about that again sometime. Alright, folks, on that note as well, I will be calling it a night there. Let's see if we can find someone who's playing the Fallouts to go have a chat with. Bear with me for the quickest of seconds. We'll see if we can do a raid. Friday nights are always a good night for a raid. There's always folks around. What's happening? What's happening over here? As always, there is no onus to join the raid. Good night, Valavian. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company. You've all been awesome. There are a lot of people playing Fallout 76. Just a lot. It is apparently the thing that is done. Good night, Nublar. Thank you very much for your company, and to you, Demank, as well. Thank you so much for the follow, Sean Dilly. Very much appreciated. Alright. I have found someone. Bear with me for a quick second. Cannot hear the audios. How bizarre. I can't hear the audios. Ah, because I've muted the tab, because I'm a Muppet. Alright, let's unmute that. Just going to check language, make sure.
I do also have a lot of stuff. I am over encumbered.
There we go.
A steadfast supporter.
Alright, let's go. We are going to go raid the lovely Moonlit Charlie. Raid. Now, when you pop up in the raid, if you do want to come along, then just say... Actually, let's go for hi. Say, oh hi Charlie. There we go. Alright. Raid. Moonlit Charlie. Charlie. There we go. Helps if you can type. Do 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 do. Alright. Let's go.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out some of our other videos, and for live content, come join me on Twitch.